welcome to the vlog. It is my first week of doing my new summer TBR, not challenge, just I guess new way of doing things. My TBR reboot is kind of what I've been referring to it as in my mind. If you're unfamiliar, if you didn't watch last week's vlog, I redid the way I'm going to be doing my TBR. So every week I'm going to pick one mood read from my physical TBR, and then I have this wheel with 23 books. So this is my first week doing it. I'm very excited. My mood read this week isn't really a mood read, but it is a book that I've been wanting to read, so it's my like free pick, I guess, and that is The Lost Story of Belle by Melanie Dobson. I pre-ordered this book. I don't know what month it came out, but I've had it for a while. And I am buddy reading this with Jeanette over at Jane Reads. This is the first buddy read that I've ever done with like a fellow booktuber. I mean ever, but like also with a fellow booktuber, so feels really fun. And I actually have another buddy read lined up for next week with a book that I'm super excited to read, but we'll talk about that more if I vlog. Well, I know I'll vlog that book, but we'll talk about that more next week. Anyway, so this is my like mood read pick, and I did start this today. I have a little bit left of, we like broke it up into 7 chapters every day, and I have a little more that I need to read tonight, so that we can chat about it. But I'm really enjoying it so far. So far, it's following Olivia Ashe in 1940, and she is an author who is experiencing writer's block after her husband of 22 years has passed away, and she cannot seem to find a new story to write because she believes that, not believes, but she has this sense that now that her husband has passed, he took her words and took her ability to write with him. So she's just trying to figure that out. And then we have in, I believe it's 06. Yeah, 2006. We have Harper, and Harper is an aspiring screenwriter, but she's currently stuck working for her best friend's father as his basically like housekeeper, and she can never seem to really like get, oh, and the father is like, he's a movie producer basically, and she can never seem to really get his attention, and she doesn't want to come off as desperate for like, hey, look at me, look at the movie I'm writing. So that's kind of like the premise, and then she's like sort of pitched her idea to these other people in the movie production world, and she kind of just got laughed at. So I don't really know where each story is going to go and how they're going to intersect, but I'm only like 60 to 70 pages in. Yeah, I'm 60 pages in, so there's a lot of room for where the book could go, but so far I'm really liking it. Melanie Dobson writes stories that I can very easily just like get hooked on and be like, yeah, I want to know what's going to happen next. I haven't read a Melanie Dobson book in probably a little over a year. So, and the last one I read by her, I think it was The Wings of Poppy Pendleton. It wasn't my favorite by her, so I think this one is going to be better for sure. But yeah, so that is my mood read / free pick. And now we're going to do live, that's not really live, but live on the vlog, my first spin. So I'll spin the wheel and I'll let y'all see what comes up. I literally can't see any of these titles. All She Ever Wanted. Okay. That is an older book for sure, but All She Ever Wanted by Lynn Austin. My copy is an old library copy, I'm assuming, so I'll need to get that barcode off. But this is a book that I heard a lot of people talking about more towards the beginning of the year, which is why, and just like having really rave reviews for it, which is why I put it on my TBR. And I know it's definitely a backlist book, which is why I said it was older. Yeah, this was published in 2005, which this is going to make me seem so young, but that's like only a year after I was born. So like I'm young, so truly it's not that old, but it seems old for a book. So I know this is like a generational story. I know it's a little heavier. It's contemporary for the time it was written, I think. Yeah, like it's set in 2004. Okay, I'm excited. I don't know when I'll start this. I might start this tonight or tomorrow, but I'll let y'all know more thoughts on both of these books that I'm reading this week as I get farther into them. Hey y'all, welcome to day 2 of this reading vlog and of the week. It is Tuesday. Well, obviously I started The Lost Story of Via Belle, but I've started both of the books that I'm reading and I have thoughts. So let's talk about them. The Lost Story of Via Belle. I'm now 14 chapters through it and I'm hooked. I really, really like this book. This is good writing. Like, I love it. We have just reached a little twist. I wouldn't say it's like a plot twist, but it's a twist that I didn't quite see coming. Some hints were dropped about this one secondary character that was like very involved in one of the timelines, and well, specifically in Olivia's timeline. And I was like, at first I was like, no, like that's maybe not what the vibes. And then it was the vibes, and I was like, oh, dang, like I kind of saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming quite as bad as it was. And we've introduced a third perspective, but I'm not really gonna say much about it because it would spoil some things. So all I can say is it's well done. I'm appreciating it, and I am hooked. I need to know what Jeanette thinks about this book. Obviously she'll have already read it by the time this video comes out, but I just want to know. I want to know what she thinks. I read it while I was at work, so she just hasn't had a chance yet, but that is a-okay. We're about to get on some reading sprints tonight. I mean, she is hosting them, but she said she'll be reading it tonight, so fun. I really like this book. It's so good. It has been such a good read, and I really like it because a lot of Melanie Dobson's other books have been kind of like wartime stories. She's veered away from that with her last couple of books. I know her last book was not, I can't quite remember some of the ones before that, but she's done a lot of like wartime stuff, specifically World War II. And this, while the one timeline is set in 1940, there's not a lot of talk about war, which that might change. I hope it doesn't, just because I like it. Like, I'm kind of not as interested in reading wartime stories as much anymore, so I'm liking just a general historical vibe. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the first book. And then I just barely started All She Ever Wanted last night. I got through 30 pages of it, and I can already tell that this book is going to be deep and it's going to be emotional and impacting. So far we have met Kathleen. Yes, Kathleen. And we literally open on her and her teenage daughter, 16-year-old daughter, have come home after her daughter was arrested. She was like, I guess, arrested by the mall cop for shoplifting, and they are like having it out. And her daughter, Joelle, I think is her name. Yes, Joelle is like miserable and is threatening to run away from home. Kathleen is equally like miserable and upset because she just doesn't know how to help her daughter. And we start to learn how Kathleen has a very fractured relationship with her family. She ran away from them when she was around Joelle's age. And basically in this first bit, we've gotten to Kathleen has received an invitation to her father's birthday party, and she had thrown it away, but through trying to connect with Joelle really wants to know more about Kathleen's family because it's also her family, and so they end up going to this birthday party together. They're on the road, but now this next part is set in Kathleen's childhood. I think we're gonna get some backstory. I'm eager. I think this is gonna be a rich story. But this is what I'm going to be reading this evening, hopefully getting a decent bit ways through it, and I'm looking forward to it. So those are my thoughts on my 2 books that I'm reading this week. I am literally sitting here just going, what in the world just happened in this book? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me catch y'all up and not spoil anything. This book, so good. It is so good, guys, but it is also crazy, the stuff that happens in here. Oh my goodness, I'm like reeling from just like the shock, and it's not even like shock value type of things. It's literally just like Melanie Dobson crafted an amazing story that I'm just like so hooked on, and it just like, it's sad, but it just keeps getting better and better, and it's like I just want to sink my teeth into it, and like I need to keep reading it. I am going, like I was already planning to read more than my allotted chapters for the day for the buddy read, because I'm going out of town tomorrow, and so I was just like, I'll just get a little bit ahead. But like low-key, what if I finish it tonight? I probably shouldn't, because like I shouldn't get so far ahead, but like what? I don't want to spoil anything, but let me just say there's some stuff that goes down in this book, guys, and I think this is gonna be a 5 stars for sure. There's a character in this book, I obviously will not tell you who, but there's a character in this book that just makes me so mad. Like genuinely, I started reading the last 2 chapters and like I kind of sensed what was coming. There was just like a revealing of some facts, and I sensed it was coming, and I knew it was gonna be like horrible, and like I could feel like my like blood was like boiling, like obviously not really, but like my heart was racing, and I was like low-key feeling like sick to my stomach, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible what is happening. But like, oh my gosh, this is how you write a book. This is how you do it. Melanie Dobson, you have re-won my heart for your books. I mean, I hope you don't absolutely, you know, lose me in the last like, I don't know, little bit, but I don't think that's gonna happen. It would take a lot for that to happen, and I don't see it. So definitely trending 5 stars, trending to be a favorite of the year at the moment. I don't want to speak too soon, but love. So basically a lot of stuff has been happening in the like past timeline. Well, they're both like kind of past, because 2006 was 20 years ago, but a lot of stuff is going on in the 1940s, because we now have like 2 perspectives from that timeline. We have Isidore, but everyone calls her Izzy, and we also have Olivia, who is the author via Belle. And their stories do like connect, but I cannot tell you how, because it's too far into the book. It would be a spoiler. But yeah, their stories definitely do connect, and so there's just like a lot of stuff going on, and it's very dramatic and very like keeping me on the edge of my seat. And then the 2006 timeline, Harper, I don't care about her as much, because she's slowly uncovering facts about Via Belle and how Via Belle disappeared, and she's like trying to learn more about it. And there's also stuff about Harper's mom, who grew up in this town and was an orphan, and like it's interesting, but it's definitely not as interesting as the stuff that's going on in the past. I think it will be interesting once Harper starts to learn some of the stuff that is happening in the past, because I think we are going to get there. Like I think once she uncovers that, and then I have a feeling we'll kind of read what the resolution of the past of the 1940s stuff, we'll kind of read the fallout more from Harper's perspective and see kind of what she does with it. I don't know. That's kind of my assumption. That's kind of how dual timelines, when they're researching the past, how that can go. But oh man, oh, I am in love with this book. It's so good. But you want to know something else, guys? I'm also in love with All She Ever Wanted by Lynn Austen. That is the other book I'm reading. It is such a good book. Like, the way I was saying, like, this is how you write a book for Via Belle, like, that's also how you write a book. Like, a good contemporary, like, gripping generational story. I'm loving that one too. I'm having a really great reading week, and I'm so happy. This is awesome. This TBR game that I'm doing it's paying off. Week 1, and I'm having a great week. So yeah, okay. I need to get back to the Lost Story of Via Belle ASAP. And then once I'm done with that, I also need to get back to All She Ever Wanted ASAP. So I will catch y'all once I've gotten more reading done. Good morning, guys. Welcome to another day of this vlog. I am currently not home right now. I am visiting my fiance where he lives. And we are we're getting ready for a little day date. We're actually gonna go to the park where he proposed to me. We haven't been back since like 5 months ago, and then we'll probably go to a coffee shop, something like that. But anyway, I thought while I was getting ready I would chat with you guys about the books I'm reading. Anyway, I'm not doing anything too crazy with my makeup today because we're literally just going for a little walkabout, and then you know, nothing too crazy, like I said. So I'll just put on some concealer right now. But anyway, the books, let's talk about the books, y'all. So I finished The Lost Story of Via Belle last night, and oh my goodness, the twists and the turns, I was shocked. I was not expecting that much to come out of that book. I was not expecting the plot to just really like go up and down and like all around, and it's definitely a book that I could see myself rereading in the future, because it's like going back through it the second time and knowing what's coming is like, oh, I feel like I would catch so much more, because like I was texting Jeanette about certain things and I was like, oh my gosh, I just realized like this was a clue about this and this was a clue about that. And so I feel like knowing how it ended, going back through it would be such a cool experience. But I do see myself maybe rereading it one day, but probably not anytime soon. But it was so good. I think my final rating is going to end up being a 5 stars. I'm still thinking on it, dwelling on it. There were a few minor things at the end that I would have changed, or I would have liked to have just been a tad more realistic or thought out. And obviously I can't explain it without spoiling it, but that's just kind of like my thoughts on that. Okay, that looks pretty blended. We're gonna say that's blended. But anyway, so now I am focusing all of my attention on All She Ever Wanted by Lynn Austen, which is around here somewhere. It's on the bed over there. Yeah, it's too far to reach, but it is over there. That book is really good. So basically that one, I was thinking, oh, it might be a 5 star, but I think it might be more like a 4 or 4.5 now, just because it's really doing a lot of generational stuff, which I love a generational story, but I don't know, there are just some aspects to it that have kind of taken it down a little for me. But basically, I think I've told you about like Kathleen and Joelle. So we went back and we heard Kathleen's perspective on everything. And then, like I said, they were going to the birthday party for her dad. So when they got there, they met an old family friend, and she told them all about Kathleen's mother's history. And so we had a couple of chapters, or not a couple, like we had many chapters about that. And then we went back to Kathleen and Joelle, and they go and meet up with another person, with Kathleen's uncle, and he is now telling them about their grandmother, Kathleen's grandmother, his mom, and her story. And each woman so far, like there's this generational, or I guess generational continuing thing, I don't know, of like each woman has run away from their family to start a life of their own, kind of. So we're seeing that back through the last 3 generations, and seeing how it might change with Joelle, because she has threatened to run away as well, kind of more of as a rebellious teenager type of thing, but still. So I'm really enjoying the story. The grandmother's portion that we're in now, Fiona, I'm not connecting with her as much. She definitely, some of her inner dialogue, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm not vibing with it, but I'm only like 3 chapters into her portion, so, you know, things could definitely change. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on, oh, darn it. I didn't bring my little eyebrow brush. I guess I'll just have to make do. Oh, I do have one. Never mind. I have one in my little eyebrow kit. Okay, so I honestly really didn't do much. I just put on concealer, blush, and mascara, but that's all I need. It's just a little day out. But yeah, anyway, so those are my thoughts on the books I'm reading. I hopefully will finish All She Ever Wanted this weekend, maybe a little bit into next week, but I'm hoping not too much. I will probably update y'all once I've finished All She Ever Wanted, and then at that point we'll move into, I'll end this video and move into the next week of the TBR. But I'm off now to have a lovely little day date with my fiance. All right, y'all, we are gonna end this video where we started it, on the floor in front of my TBR shelf. But I'm just doing that because I'm gonna end this and then start the next video. But I finished All She Ever Wanted by Lynn Austen, and I've shared a lot of thoughts along the way. Basically, I would give this book a 4 stars. The first half, I was a solid 5 stars. Like I was like, it's definitely going to take some things for this book to become, well, I was like, it's definitely going to take a lot for it to drop a whole star. But then some things happened, and I wasn't like a super fan of how the last half of the book played out. So the concept is great, and I do think it was executed really well. So basically, I loved Kathleen's section, finding out about her childhood. Great, so well done. Really enjoyed learning about Kathleen's mother, Eleanor, her section. I thought that was really well done. I loved that it was told through the perspective of the friend and not through the perspective of Eleanor. Oh, chef's kiss, loved it. That was great. Then we get to Eleanor's mother, Fiona. Did not love that section. Didn't love it. I don't know. It's just the way it was told, the writing style shifted, and also a lot of the choices that Fiona made, I couldn't support her. I could not support her as a character. I just couldn't. So it dropped down to a 4 stars for me, but I still really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it. That section with Fiona, it wasn't unbearable. Like, I still wanted to read it and learn, like, how is she going to end up the way that we know she ended up. Like, I wanted to know that, and I really did like it because you know where characters are going to end up by the end of their story, but it's how did they get there? It's following the process, and that's what I love, storytelling like that, of like, okay, so-and-so is dead by this certain year, tell me how we got there. What drama happened to get us there? I love that. I eat it up. So I think that's why I enjoyed the book so much. But yeah, 4 stars, would recommend. It was a good read. So I enjoyed my first week of doing this, of reading The Lost Story of Via Belle. I loved that book. And then All She Ever Wanted as the spinner wheel pick. That was really fun. So I look forward to doing this again this week. And yeah, stay tuned for next week's vlog where I'll share my thoughts. You'll see me pick, and then I'll share my thoughts on those books. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye!